Efforts to keep Liat in the air meet a stumbling block. And in sports, former CWI President Dave Cameron says he will be back. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean in 10 for Friday, March 29th, 2019. I'll be back with the details after the break. The refusal of pilots employed by cash-strapped regional airline Liat to take a salary cut is reported to be undermining efforts to keep the airline in the air. Although other trade unions are accepting the 6% salary cut, the Leeward Islands Airlines Pilots Association, LIALPA, is not willing to go that route. Well-placed sources have told CMC News the matter was discussed during a 6-hour meeting in Barbados on Wednesday involving Prime Minister Mia Mottley, her St. Vincent and the Grenadines counterpart Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, and trade union officials. The sources say while the trade unions had agreed to the pay cut in principle, pending further deliberations with their members, the major sticking point was the refusal of pilots to do the same. Efforts to contact LIALPA President Carl Burke have so far proven futile, but earlier this week he said the pilots would not be willing to accept a salary cut. The Barbados-based online publication Barbados Today reported today that the airline could collapse if Liat management is not given a positive response from the trade unions before the financial year ends on March 31st. The Caribbean Aviation Training Center is under scrutiny following the release of a report from the probe into a deadly 2016 plane crash in Jamaica. The Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, JCAA, released the report on the November 10, 2016 crash in Greenwich Town, St. Andrew, that claimed 3 lives, and the 60-page document points to safety breaches on the part of the aviation training school which operated the plane involved in the accident. We get more from TVJ's Dashan Hendricks.
The findings published by the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, JCAA, revealed that the engine which was installed on the ill-fated aircraft did not conform to its type design, and there were other discrepancies which did not make it airworthy. Among other things, it said the engine's camshaft showed signs of extreme wear and corrosion. The Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, which carried out the investigation, said in the report that despite numerous requests, the Caribbean Aviation Training Center was unable to provide a copy of the authorized release certificates for the engine and the propeller, which were reported to have been overhauled. The flight training school was also unable to provide a copy of the work order of the repair station where the engine was overhauled. Investigators say when the repair station identified in the maintenance entry was contacted in order to obtain a copy of the work order, it reported that the maintenance entry was forged and it did not have any information regarding the engine of the plane which crashed.
Belize Prime Minister Dean Barrow is encouraging citizens to vote yes in the upcoming referendum on whether the country should take its border dispute with Guatemala to the International Court of Justice, the ICJ. And he says the appeal or the April 10th vote should not be used as a pretext for putting citizens against each other. Navarro says respect will be due to those who vote no in the referendum, but he says all else has failed to resolve the dispute, and if the country does not go to the ICJ now, there are no other options. The Prime Minister says it is pointless to talk about reviving negotiations.
That is a route utterly exhausted after scores of years of futile effort. And to try to resuscitate it now would only be an exercise in further sterility. The other suggestion of freezing the situation, simply attempting to ignore for 50 years this perpetual Damocles sword, is even more chilling. Guatemalan incursions are not static. The horrific deforestation and plunder of our natural resources in the Chiquibul will increase. And the nightmare possibility of militarization of the claim would continue to haunt us. But we can put a halt to all of that with fully demarcated boundaries and the UN Security Council as enforcer of the ICJ decision confirming our singular, clear title.
And that was Belize Prime Minister Dean Barrow. Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next.
Up to 20% of women of reproductive age will develop fibroids, non-cancerous growths in the womb that can cause pain. Now, risk factors include race and family history, but women can lower their chances of developing fibroids by eating a healthy diet, free of alcohol and processed foods. That's the perspective of naturopathy expert Dr. Malaika Agbeko. Dr. Agbeko is encouraging women to choose a healthier diet.
Music is something I love, so we just always do it. So everything does right now, I manifest, and I look. The journey been great, you know, I learn a lot. But we're just stepping at the game with it inexperience, so right now, just a learning process. As I tell you, some people are opportunists, you know. They only come around for what you can do for them, so when them say no favor, the whole of them, they give up and go, because you know it's a business. And we understand the business. Enough people come around if you say your artists are going to reach right now.
Caribbean cricket has not seen the last of Dave Cameron. The former Cricket West Indies president says he'll be back. The Jamaican and his vice president Emmanuel Nansen were handed a stunning defeat in CWI elections at the annual general meeting last Sunday, but Cameron says he remains available to serve the region. The Jamaica Observer newspaper quoted him as saying, "It's been a remarkable journey. I have made a lot of friends, not just in the region, but internationally, and we'll be back. We are here to serve. If people at some point in time believe that we are needed, we are here to serve, and we will continue. I think we have a lot to be proud of, winning back the Wisden Trophy after 10 years, seeing us compete the way we did against England just now. I tell you, I'm very excited about West Indies cricket if we continue along the same trajectory." End quote. Cameron, who was denied a fourth straight term when he lost to Ricky Skerritt, said he would now focus his efforts on his company, a wealth management and investment venture. Staying with cricket, prolific off-spinner Rakeem Cornwall has captured the Courtney Walsh Award for the most wickets in the just concluded First Class Championship as he continues to press his claim for a maiden call-up to the senior Windies squad. The 26-year-old, who has played extensively for West Indies A, finished with 54 wickets at an average of 17.68 and was the only bowler to pass 50 wickets in the season. He also had a decent season with the bat down the order, ending with 419 runs at an average of 28 as Leeward Islands Hurricanes produce a strong showing to finish third behind five-time champions Guyana Jaguars. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.